Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Amen,
Yes,
man.
sir. All right. All right. Well, we ain't gonna wait for more to be people. First, I want to introduce you. What up, world? How you feeling? How you living? This is your boy, Tori and Terrell, aka Mr. Preppy Boy. Um, I know y'all know the face. You know what I'm saying? Y'all seen me here before. This is all new, man. This is brunch on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? Got so much stuff popping. We gonna even be cooking on him. We gonna have Broadway cook, man. If he cook,
What's interesting about what you said, man?
uh,
I've been working on something like that, man. Like putting something together, man, because I don't know how to cook, man. That's like one of the things I don't know how to do.
that's all right.
So my culinary skills aren't there. You know what I'm saying? So like
Right.
we gonna try to get them like this shit. Like so, basically, you know what I mean. I'm taking on some things that I wasn't able to do in my lifetime, man.
Right.
One of the things in my lifetime I wasn't able to learn how to cook very well. So I have, now, I'm in the later stages of my career and everything like that. I'm like, let me try out cooking. I want to be able to barbecue for people that come over because I love going to barbecues. That's like my favorite thing. I love
Right.
barbecues. I love potato salad. I love barbecue baked beans. I love burgers. You know what I'm saying? Ribs.
Hey,
I'm a guy that likes that real type of American barbecue.
ain't
You know
nothing
what I'm saying?
wrong with
You
that.
feel me?
Ain't no, so you're a 4th of July guy.
Mm-hmm.
You DJing and you eating good.
I was born in July, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So,
that's
I'm
what's up.
I'm a summer baby, so the summertime is my time, man. I be feeling like when it's summer, it's a good time
Real
to
time.
be outside, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna introduce you to the world. This is Broadway, his celebrity DJ. You know what I'm saying? He's DJ for your favorite entertainer, Tiana Taylor, Lil Nas X, Danny Lay, and a couple of other people that, hey, he probably gonna throw down their name for me. You know what I'm saying? He's also a fashion curator. He has the Tour Lords brand, or is it brand or
Absolutely. Tolos is a brand. It's a lifestyle brand that has a few facets to it, but I won't interrupt you
okay,
on your intro. I'm
no, it's
sorry.
all good. It's all good. He's doing a master class in DJing. That I'm gonna get in this class because I just picked up DJ. It's been a year.
Oh,
I ain't scratching yet.
it's time. It's time,
Hey,
brother.
but the pandemic had me like itching, and I'm
Hey,
like, I want to.
we'll talk about it indeed, brother. There's a master
Most
class for
definitely.
you too. I got coaching. I got everything. It's virtual. We can get it done.
Love.
Mm-hmm.
And he also went to grammar school with Cameron, right? Was it Cameron? Or
It was Shelton Arms in Harlem, and I would say that what is before if it's kindergarten, what's before
preschool?
kindergarten? Like preschool. So I went to preschool with Shelton Arms. I mean, my whole neighborhood in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Harlem is not big, so like you're gonna end up. We ended up growing up together. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because of the blocks being so close. So I would say that together. You know what I'm saying? But not like more so. His cousins and them are my friends and everything
Okay.
like that. But we got mutual comrades that we, communicate with. You know what I'm
Nice.
saying?
Nice.
Yeah.
I know how you got into DJing a little bit, but I want the world to know how did you get started. Who got you in this era?
Really, it's all because of my mother. My mother's a DJ,
Wow.
and she DJ with the great late Grandmaster Flowers
Oh
in
man.
Queens, and she was
Right.
carrying records, and she learned a lot from him. And so my mom, pretty much what I do now in my life, my mom was an artist. She took white walls and painted on them and stuff like that, and she played records. You know what I mean? And excuse me. And she had company over many of times, and she would play records, and people just being, that picture you see Uptown Saturday Night, and people in the living
Yeah.
room dancing. That was
Mm.
my living room for real. Like people would come
Nice.
over and listen to my mom DJ. Man, I used to be like, I just want to do that right there because they think my mom is grooving. So my mom is my centerpiece, not only for DJing but for fashion. What people don't know is that my mother would buy like Nikes when they were first coming out, and my mother would just incoherently have them, but she would wear them like Jerry Seinfeld, kind of quiet, but she
Right.
got them on. You know what I'm saying? And I used to steal her sneakers and wear them to school when she went to work and had to wear shoes. That's how I stayed fresh.
You had to clean
You
them
know what I'm
joints
saying? I
afterwards.
cleaned them and I put them back in the closet, man. My mother is like the first person that showed me what downtown Manhattan Soho fashion was. She was like a jean jacket queen, man. So
Shout out
like,
to my
yeah,
Dukes,
man.
man. That's what's up. What's up?
Yeah, man.
So I know that you was doing some time in Chicago for a little bit.
Yes,
You linked up with the King, Dave, Jeff, and
absolutely.
everything. How did that happen? How did that come about?
Wow, I got it. I'm gonna do this correctly
Okay.
so I can make sure I don't forget anybody. And so initially, Chicago happened. I was on tour with AZ, and I was working at Koch Records at the time, and there was like
Mm-hmm.
a DJ coalition thing happening in Chicago around
Right.
'06. So I went out to Chicago on the behalf of AZ. I met a girl out here, but Gravity, who was also my childhood mentor, brother, you know that he had moved to Chicago in 1996
Mm-hmm.
and was able to hook up with No ID, Kanye West, and
Right.
Gravity's career is intertwined with Kanye's career because Kanye sold his first beat to Gravity for that album, which is
Mm-hmm.
Down to Earth. And we grew up together in Harlem. And man, I got off the last AZ tour, which was '07. That was the format, and I had about $5 in my bank account. Yeah, man. Like people don't understand. Like when you're young and you don't have anybody to tell you how the music business is gonna go.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that I was into, like as far as like spending money, spending habits that people don't really give you the knowledge on, like how you should be saving and stuff like that. So
Right.
this is early '07. And so my big brother, I always call him when, what I'm saying, life can get critical, Grab, I have an answer for me. And he was like, yo, man, come out here to Chicago, you know what I'm saying? It's a guy I roll with named Bruno Kimball. He's been a security guard in the Chicago nightlife for some years. And they were doing Betty's Blue Star Lounge
Mm-hmm.
and they were friends with Steve Maestro. So I moved in with Grav, and when the last time the Bears won the Super Bowl, so that was '09.
Right.
I,
No. With the
I'm
Bears?
yeah.
Is it with the Oh, it was 06.
That was
Yeah,
'06.
it was
That was '06
06.
on it. Whenever that was, and then I was there for when Obama was elected president. Like
Right.
around that time, I had got to Chicago, and the Grav's resources. He knows I'm a big sneaker guy. He was like, I guess you got to go see the biggest sneaker guy in Chicago, and that was Dave Jeff, man.
Mm-hmm.
He and his brand is Fly, which is an acronym for I Love Hyde Park
Right.
backwards. And Dave had major influence, still has major influence in the Chicago, Illinois area. And he took a liking to how I was DJing, and he thought our brands would do well together. So I was able to, Dave was able to open some doors in some places. He called Scrap Dirty, so I became a violated DJ. And many of
Right.
other things. This is how I actually know Clark Kent. I know Clark Kent through Dave Jeff, and me and Clark Kent, rest his soul,
Yes. R.I.P.
became very good friends, you know what I'm saying? So there were a lot of relationships built through Dave Jeff, and that's how I started, moving through Chicago. And then through Dave's, family and things of that nature, I was able to reach more areas in Chicago. And then there's Warbucks and Bruiser over East.
Right.
And then we got Hood and them over out west, 290. I love 290 Paperman. That's my thing. West Side's my side. I love the West Side.
That's where I'm at. West Side.
You know what I'm saying? I love my 290. You know what I'm saying? For real,
Sure.
man. But yeah, I was able to move around a bit because those gentlemen were gracious enough to help me along the way in my career.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man.
Mm-hmm.
I got to ask you this because y'all did a mixtape. I did 2 mixtapes.
Yes.
I need both of them, man, because I lost, like, my laptop crashed and I lost both of them, man. If you still got,
I have all of the mix. Shout out to everybody in here too. I have all of the mixtapes. That mixtape was executive produced by the Ty Hill of the Productionist. Well, and Ty Hill is my absolute favorite producer in the world, man. Ty Hill is my favorite. I don't record anything without Ty Hill, man. Nothing.
Okay. You also did something. I don't know if this was during your time when you was here in Chicago, but the dance floor DJs.
Oh, I'm gonna also go venture off. See, Chicago is like a junction period to where I was able to touch the rest of America and countries abroad. Chicago is a major hub for that. So Grav was doing voiceovers, and he was on the Def Jam fight video game. So Grav, Vendetta. So he had some resources with a guy named Eric Lay in White Shadow, which is Paul Blair.
Right.
And at the time, White Shadow was managing DJs. He was managing a guy named DJ Cy Young and a guy named DJ Jim. And a few other guys. You know, Rock City was in that mix, and there a couple of guys like that. The first guys to actually, you know, DJ downtown,
right.
and downtown Chicago. And White Shadow figured out that I can write songs. You know, I can rap. You know, I've been up under grad forever. So like, he was like, why don't you got? Because he had relationships. You know, he went on to produce, you know, the song for Lady Gaga, but he had resources for writing camps.
Right.
And we were writing songs. Me and Jim were writing songs for LMFAO at first. So we were writing for them. We were writing for an album, and then that deal fell through at the time. And then me and Jim just started. We stayed in the studio, and at the time we were heavy in the clubs downtown Chicago. So we started doing sets together as a team, like a duo. And I don't know if people remember, we did have the largest party on the beach at Castaways, which is North Avenue Beach, which is that ship that's in the water. I want to say for maybe 5 consecutive summers. I mean, we owned the beach, man. I mean, we had EDM music, like 2 African-American brothers out there playing EDM music. It was like incredible, man. Like a couple of incredible summers we had out there, man. And so we made some songs. We signed like a deal for a year. We got out of that deal, and then Jem had made Gorilla Bass, which is another. He came up with another name for himself, and he started doing production. And at that time, I had moved to Toronto, man. So like,
Toronto.
Yeah.
So you know, I gotta ask you, while you was in Toronto, did you work with him?
Of course. Directly.
Did you do it like any tours? Like, did you just do a club or?
So there's inside of the.
We're talking about Drake, everyone.
Absolutely, we're definitely talking about Drake. So there's many instances where I was able to, you know, have many interactions with Drake. The first one that I can remember with him is DJ Henny V lived out in Toronto, and I decided to move to Toronto one winter, start a clothing brand called You Don't Want This Life. And in that, there's a stadium out there called the Air Canada Center. And this is at the peak of where Drake is like almost, you know, this is like Nothing the Same was out. And then the Six God came out. And so he had a private club inside of the Share Club. I mean, a private club inside of the ACC called the Share Club. And this club was about $30,000 a month for a membership.
Jesus.
He only had 3 DJs to ever DJ in there. There's a guy named Cale Grant who opened that door for me and Henny and myself. So we ended up doing Drake night, you know, where he brings his mom out and they played, and they all come back up to the suite. And I'm end up that suite, regular people are not even allowed in there. Like, you got to be like a super millionaire to be able to even walk in there. They have a smorgasbord of food. Shout out to Trish out in the 6. Shout out to them. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to my man Drew out in the 6, man. He running around with diamond dealers and all that. Like, for real, man. You know, like I really ran through the 6 for real with Drake. And then the second time, you know, I was with Danny, and then we had I think we had a tour date out there, and he invited us to eat at his restaurant on the night they were closed. So I physically saw Drake open the restaurant and serve us food. So
nice. Well, he do like the Prince, like pancakes.
He showed us, man. Anytime, yo, I never had a bad. So I've never, whatever's happening, I didn't get that. You saw when it comes down to these artists, I never really get what you see on record. I really get the person. And so because of the type of guy that I am, I'm able to just get past all of that. And like, you got to be 100.
So he basically a regular. Just with money.
Yeah, and then once we get past the fact that he's a mega star, and he get the fact that I'm, you know, a legendary DJ, it's just 2 guys sitting at the table talking about whatever it is, man. And that's how I usually use my approach with artists, man. I don't really use the, you know what I'm saying?
So how was your experience with Lil Nas X then?
That's one of the greatest experiences in my life.
And before you could say like, because I know all the controversy that was with him. Was you with him during that time?
I was with him
with the shoes.
So I was with him right in all the way up to the album dropped, all the way to the Jack Harlow, and then I think the Nike Air Max came out with the blood on them, and that's when I hit him, and I was like, "What's that?" And you know, that's when you know, creatively I was like, you know, there's another story to this. I'm just giving you the.
If you want to tell it, it's up to you.
There's a story that what really happened is going to go in the book. But as far as the surface level, on a respectable level. The respectable level is creatively, he wanted to do some things, or creatively, the record label wanted him to do some things that wasn't my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But what I can always respect about him, and why that was one of the illest rides in my life, like really
You
being
met
around
Quincy Jones through him,
many,
right?
many people, the most influential people in the world I was able to meet, because they all wanted to meet him at the time. He was the biggest thing in the
Yeah,
world.
he was.
So imagine a 19-year-old kid, and he has the hottest song on radio. We went 19 weeks #1. Every talk show, you got to think, he won every award you could win as a musician in 1 year.
Yeah.
You know, so I was able to go to the Grammys, the American Music Awards. I performed at the VMAs. I went to Glastonbury. I'm the first African American DJ to ever touch the stage in Glastonbury. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was on the stage with Billy Ray Cyrus, Miley Cyrus, not Lil Nas X, and me. So I'm on the stage with already Hannah Montana and like 2 other legends. And so, like, you know, as far as him, man, like so shout out to DJ Trauma, who's Dave Chappelle's DJ. This is how I even got the gig. This is how I even got the gig, man. I had posted a picture online, and I was sleeping on the floor in Tyler's studio one night. Tyler took the picture, and I just happened to randomly post it one day. And Trauma, like a friend, and was like, "Yo, you good? Yo, would you need some DJ gigs? What's up?" And lo and behold, DJ Trauma right there had 3 gigs for me right on the phone. He had a joint for me to do on Saturday. He's like, "Check it out. I got a joint for you to do in New York. It's like $5,000 for like 2 days." I said, "I say no more. I'm going." So I show up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Super love, man. Shout out to DJ Tron. That's my man.
Yes, sir.
And when I walk into the studio, I didn't even know there was a song called Old Town Road out. I was unaware of this kid. And so, you know, they briefed me on what it is, and they fly us all to New York, but it's to do Deezus Samero. So it's Showtime. I had never been on Showtime before. They doing my makeup, all kind of wildness. You know what I'm saying? I'm in there. I'm like, oh, this is the big leagues. You know what I'm saying? So like, I'm like, okay. And so he just liked my energy from that point on. Pause. And they called me and they say he wants you to be his DJ. And so everything else, he just brought me along. Anything it was, like he told me we had a conversation. It's another piece that's gonna go in my book, but we had a conversation, and it was a gentleman conversation about where he saw his career going and how I could be a part of it and how we could utilize each other. And what I loved about him is he was like, "Nah, B-Way, do you? You don't gotta do what I'm doing." So I was showing up to the shows in my own outfits and all that, and he was allowing me to do my own thing. So it was like we killing shows. And he had never been on stage before. So like everything we were doing was on the spot.
Oh, wow.
Like I was in a band. So DJing for a band is like not DJing for an artist. You DJing, you have to be in sync with the rest of the band.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like I had to learn the world of ears. I had to learn the world of rehearsals when this was not like DJing in the club, man. This was like DJing for like high level artists. Like this is the hottest artist in the world. And me, I'm the DJ for him. So they looking at DJ like they looking at the guitarist. They like, oh, now we have the best in the world. So we expect the best out of him. So there's no room for like error. You just got to show up, perform, and do it every time on the money. 1, 2, 3. And he liked it. And he told me at the BET Awards when we ended up doing the BET Awards, because they left. If you notice the BET Awards, there's no DJ booth, but there's a bar.
Yeah.
So they had left me off of the BET Awards. I was leaving rehearsal in Burbank, and I was traveling down the road. He calls my phone. He's like, "Where you going, man?" I was like, "I'm going home." I said, "Rehearsal over." He said, "Nah, man, you in this one, come back." And he made them build that entire set for me so that he's like, "Yo, whatever I do, you gonna do." That's love. That's why I keep it a bean with him, because, you know, for him to be that age, to be able to say, you know what, this is just not my journey. I want you to be able to travel on the journey with me, experience these things with me, and I'm gonna need an OG like you around me, because every time we move city to city, you know everybody. So it's
it's crazy. I'm sorry to interrupt you, brother.
It's
crazy that you say it, because with all that controversy that all that heat he brought on himself, they don't see that side of him. You know what I'm saying?
They didn't get
the entertaining side.
That's mostly with most artists. You know what I'm saying? Once you get in this game, You know, there's an itinerary of things you got to do, man. You know what I'm saying? And people ain't gonna see the part when you with your grandmother and all that. They only gonna see when you in between radio station, show, more TV and stuff like that. So like
Right.
you don't get. I get to be with these artists, you know, at their moments where they're not in front of a camera. And so
Right.
I'm able to, I'm able to bond with these artists, you know, and their families as well because they like, yo, you real, you know what I mean? Like I'll be like, yo, you just performed in front of 10 thou. And then you did 3 radio interviews today. Yeah, you could be
Right.
tired. I'm not saying
Right.
we ain't gonna get this work done, but yeah, I understand you. And I'm the
I
person
feel you. I
that's
feel
just like, yo, I understand what you're going through as an artist. You're a brand new artist. You didn't most of these artists don't know how tumultuous it's gonna be that first year being signed to a record label. And they need a guy like me around to be like, it's gonna be okay.
you. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So would you say that's like the majority of every artist that comes out, or that's just this generation of artists, or is that just every young
Say
artist?
that one more
I'm
time.
sorry. So what you're saying is like they need OGs in their corner to help them get through this artistry that they're going through, because there's a lot of people out there that's going to screw them over.
Sure. Just the same way as you need your uncle in your family, you need your father, you need anybody that is a parental, any adult to be, that has experienced life to be able to explain to you what you're getting into, And
Right.
most of these artists, they come in as musicians, and most musicians are just dreamers. They're like, my music, my art. But there's an entire business side to the music industry that has to be known, has to be learned, has to be you have to be educated on, because sometimes the contracts aren't built to just, it's not personal towards you. It's just, this is the way this company does business. And you have to learn how to adjust that contract so it fits you. And you have to know the verbiage of that contract. So a lot of artists don't, when you're coming out of the street, the most you know is what and
Right.
you use those tools to succeed and survive. And so you don't have a guy like Dan Broadway's been around this thing for 30 years. He's been around. What's this first year like? What do I do with my first checks?
Right.
All right, I'm getting money during the week. What do we do? Do I deposit it every day? Do I, there's no liaison to really
Right.
show these kids, like a parent would balance it. He would show you how to balance a checkbook when you were 16 and you got your first $20 in the bank account. And they're like, look, you pay this check, they're going to pay it like this. You put money in the account, this goes into checking and savings. There's a whole, just like in school, you need 10th, 11th, 12th grade. The same thing goes in business. You need to learn the steps. And even me now, I'm still in the process of learning
Yeah.
business because no one has ever taught me how business is. The process of the consumer spending the dollar and then it going into the till. Nobody ever explains that. So,
Right.
there's a guy like me in the industry now, within the tour laws that I am able to consult you and, walk you through the steps of what it's going to feel like DJing your first night in the club, walking down the first red carpet, what to wear. I can help you and consult you in all of those areas now because of the experience that I have. So,
Now that's a nice segue. Now we're about to segue into this tour
yes.
lords. Yes. So explains what is tour lords, and where can it get them? Where can it get it? And
Sure.
man.
Sure. So Tour Lords is a brand that I created in the year 2020 when the pandemic started. For some reason, I figured that life was going to change. I think it was a godly message. It was through my brother
Right.
Anthony, and I said I have to start a business outside of DJing because the DJing business dwindled after 2020. Kind of like rations of food, DJing just is it's on the
I
foot.
actually have a question about that. You said that in the
Yeah,
interview, something about that.
and this was forecasted years ago prior to today, so I kind of knew this was gonna happen.
Right.
And so, like in that time, I just took it to the scrap board. I took my notebook and I wrote down exactly what I wanted to see on a shirt. It wasn't the best, but I wrote it down and I had to say I need a clear vision of what life is going to be after DJing. And so I was in Atlanta, and the woman that I'm with now, she was working on my website, my girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? And
Right.
she asked a critical question in the interview. In the interview, she said, what is next for Broadway? Broadway, and I really couldn't answer her, but I could say that I wanted to see my son progress in life because that's what my son Cameron is like pride and joy.
Yeah.
I really want to see him do his thing. He's a barber, busy cuts.
Nice.
Shout out to him. Follow him. He's Broadway Styles on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I didn't have an answer, so I had to go. I went, and then from that point, I was coming off a first tour with Tiana, and then I went back on tour with Tiana. And I still hadn't grasped. I was like, I hadn't done anything for myself as far as, with my career, like something that's just for, like for me, that represents me, what I can do, talents, skill level, story, testimony. And I said, what could that be? And so I kind of reactivated Tour Lords in a sense when I moved in with her some 9 months. I always get this number wrong, but it's rather 6 to 7 months
That's
ago.
just what we do, men. That's what we do.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I tell her that. You know what I'm saying? She sat me down, and this is the first time somebody ever introduced a business plan to me, a business plan, and said, she put it in a notebook, and then she has this thing where it's like 50, 30, 20. And she explains when you make money, 50% should go here, 30% should go here, and 20% should go here. And I didn't understand that theory totally, but I said I had to try something new. I said I had to go into business for myself. So this is like, when people offer you information like that, I want people to understand that in college, this costs a lot of money. So when someone takes the time to give you this information, I think you should sit down, take the information in, and then like follow through with everything that needs to be executed. Because that's exactly what happened with Tour Lords. She's really given me the blueprint of how to actually run the business of it through marketing campaigns, strategic marketing campaigns, and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm seeing the return on it. So I'm like, oh, wow, for the first time, I'm really seeing, outside of me killing parties, stages, and traveling, like my own thing, like baking my own cake and like seeing it rise. And like it becomes your baby itself. You're watching it progress and grow. And what the brand represents is those people that live their lives on the road, which are the like engineers, the music directors, the people that carry luggage, the stage. Those are Tour Lords. They live their life on the road, and they sacrifice time for the involvement of their family. Right. So that I wanted to make something that represents those people that those people that live on the road. And they don't necessarily have to be musicians. They can be truckers. They can be people in businesses that, require them to be in the air a lot or be traveling a lot. And I wanted to make a brand that represented those people that will sacrifice that for family, because that's what I feel like I've done for my entire life. I've missed out on a lot of graduations and a lot of important dates that, people may have felt that I should have been at. And I literally put every hour into making sure running the Broadway thing it's going to happen. And I put those 10,000 hours in, and I've actually seen the real results of 10,000 hours, and that does work. And so I put it in the Tour Lords, and so I landed in New Bedford, which is a Cape Cod, Massachusetts, and I met so many amazing people here through her connections, through her dad, which is a big music legend here. And I've met so many powerful, influential people here. There's a toy store called Kojo's Toys World where it's like being in 1986 all day long, and then you have a wrestler, Teddy Goods, and then there's an arcade called Play Arcade. And I'm literally in Back to the Future here because it's a family homegrown town. And they really are back to what I grew up on, which is, look, we're all about family, fun, that Hollywood, that's over there. And I really needed to take a step back and get back into like what was real and what felt good, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of love out here, man. And I literally live at the biggest port in the world at Port Seafood. So, if you like clams and things of that nature, I'm in the area.
Nice.
Yeah, man. But that's what the Tour Lords is. With the help of Anthony and my girlfriend, we were able to reactivate the brand and to its totality now. where you have a DJ masterclass, you have fashion, you have upcycle fashion, which is
So it's one umbrella.
there's one umbrella.
Is it the Broadway umbrella, or is it just the
Tour
Lords
Lords
umbrella?
I live under the Tour Lords. I made it for everybody to be a part of. This is not just for me. And I want to stress that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not making any of this just for me. This is for me to share and evolve the culture. So I want everybody to be involved with it and take a piece of it. It's just for you.
Love.
You know?
I think probably a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, you did a podcast called Cannabis and Kicks.
Yes.
Was that yours or was that friends? Because I actually enjoyed that podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like every once in a while, I will puff a little bit and enjoy.
You know
what I'm saying?
You know, that makes me feel good when you say that you enjoyed that, because creating it with the people that I created it with, it was an amazing time. You know what I'm saying? And what I want to say about that show is shout out to everybody that was a part of it. You know, great hustle. You understand? The first 6 episodes were celebrity driven that we did not have to pay for.
Nice.
We used our real resources to get every piece of it done. We recorded the first 3 episodes in Chief Keef's house, and that's what people don't know.
Oh, wow.
So if you look at that, that is in Chief Keef's house. Shout out to Peter Pan. Peter Pan was able to ask Sosa if we were able to do that, and Sosa allowed me to do
Shout
that.
Out Peter Pan.
You know what I'm saying? And so shout out, like I said, Chicago always, wherever I'm at, Chicago's showing we there. We there.
My man.
We there. You feel me? And I'm from Harlem, but wherever I'm at, it'd be somebody from Chicago there representing, holding it down, and definitely showing the maximum amount of love. And Sosa let us film 3 episodes in there, 1 with Al Harrington, 1 with Designer, and 1 with his own. He has a gaming team, Glow Navy, and the guy, his name is Black. Super intelligent brother. We were able to interview him for that. And we shot that, like those were pilots. And people don't know, in 87 days, we had a contract from Revolt.
And I mean, this is like before.
Yeah, man. We hustled. Everybody. Marcus, Who Kid, Shelly, Shake. I'm talking about, it was incredible hustle on that show. You know, even the people in the background. I'm talking about, we ran that set. We ran that television set like a real network. When people came to see us and how we were running that, their jaws dropped.
I thought you were a real network.
That's how clean and on time. We had no errors. No errors. And that's why the show was picked up in 87 days.
Man.
87 days, man. And I just shout out to all of them, because that was some great hustle, man. And I'll never forget it. And it was an incredible experience, man.
It was some great shows, man.
Great, man. We got 2 short in Jadena, man.
Hey, you brought back Tour Lords.
Yeah,
why
man.
not, man?
We had people on there, man. You know, it wasn't like we was doing this from a basement. You know, what's his name? I'm trying to think of his name. The basketball player from
Bobby Simmons.
That's my brother. You know what I'm saying? Bobby that's a whole other lane. You know, Silky, my man.
Go to success tomorrow.
You gotta go to success.
Gotta go to success, man.
Gotta go to success all the time, man. All the time. See my man Vel. You understand me, Vel?
Yeah, shout out to Vel.
Shout out to Vel, man. You know what I'm saying? Over those boys over there on Michigan Avenue, man.
Yes, sir. I was watching something on YouTube. I forgot the name of the whatever it was, but you were on there and you said something, and I thought about it's something that we was talking about earlier. You was like, the DJs was once revered. I'm not verbatim what you said, but you said the DJs was once revered. Sure. Now it's almost non-existent to be a DJ.
And this is only because there's a trickle-down effect that started some time ago. 33 and the Third sat me down in GCI. This is crazy, because this is stories I never told.
You hear me on Brunch on Sundays, baby.
Me and 33 and Tim, man, like, we really used to have some, like, real checkers and chess conversations, like the nights. And 33 told me this a long time ago. He said, look, the DJ business is going to get fickle. because people are gonna get greedy and they're gonna start cutting each other at the price.
Yeah.
And he said when that happens, you need to shift to something else than DJing and figuring out money and rotation and being a resident in the club. And at that time, I moved to Toronto right after that because I was like, 33.
Right.
So he said, get out of here. So I got out of there. Next thing you know, I remember when rates for DJs were like, nice, decent, right? And then I do remember there was a wave of when it was just like, yo, all of these oranges are gonna cost this at the same price, no matter who it is. And I'm like, damn. I said I can't play in that market ever because I believe my talents are greater because where I'm DJing is showing it. And so
Right.
Timbuktu told me, he said, yo, I was at GCI. Yo, we used to have these conversations for real. Tim was like, yo, you need to go to LA. And I was like, word? And he's like, yeah, you need to go to LA. And so you look, in the next 3 years in Chicago, nobody knew, but I was saving all my money. Because I was like, yo, I got to get to LA somehow. And I had no clue how to get out to LA, bro. Like, nobody know how much money it costs to live out in LA until you really get down there. LA is the NBA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where you're going to know if you can survive in your field of work you can do. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to know if I was at the maximum level with DJing. So I said, I need to go where they saying the illest is at, whatever. Where's the stage?
So that was your bar, LA.
That was, my bar was like, I was like, I got to see if I can hang for real.
It was crazy. Like, you from New York, and everybody think New York's the bar. Chicago is like here, but New York and LA
Chicago is really the bar for DJing.
Really?
Chicago is
I wouldn't know, that's crazy.
I know I could start a lot of controversy with this argument, but being that I'm from New York, grew up with all of these DJs, watching them, had all the mixtapes. When I moved to Chicago, I had to get it together because everybody in Chicago DJ with a bravado, with a like, right. You know what I'm saying?
We always got a chip on our shoulder.
These characters, you know. Tim is a character, Mustafa's a character, right? You know, these people are characters. Like, you gotta like. You know, and at the time I got to Chicago, everything was moving and shaking so beautifully with so many clubs everywhere. It was like something happening every night. Chicago was like, it was like Vegas at a moment.
You was in the town where Lumen was popping.
You understand me? You know what I'm saying? And let's and when we tell that Lumen story, we could tell Lumen from the Taxi era, because we were in Lumen before Susu's era and Joe's era was in there. Joe was over at Le Passage, which I was right too. But if we talk about the original Lumen with Taxi, oh man, that was Vegas and Chicago. And then Lumen evolved and went, they definitely took it to what they was damn near did Rockefeller Records in the club. You feel
For real.
Like you look, we had that stage in Chicago, man. Like Chicago gave me, because the DJs was so good. You know, I had to really sharpen up because I was like, all right, they not playing out here. Like, I'm New York good. You know, I feel like that's, but Chicago right. DJs, that blending, that mix, that playing the knob game, pause, you know what I'm saying? That real in the pocket DJing, that real get them going.
Yeah.
Chicago got a way, they know how to make that crowd go, And I had to learn that, man. And so I studied everybody. And so when you see me DJing, you see a lot of Chicago with me, man, because I took a piece of everybody DJing. You know, I think Mac is one of the greatest orators ever on a microphone. Yeah. You understand me? I think,
shout out to Mac, yo.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's one of his great qualities. You know, I think Mike P is one of the most dashing DJs, you know, and I think Jay Illa is the DJ Jazzy Jeff of our generation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I think Mustafa is the, like, you know, his pockets, you know what I'm saying? Like, these guys, when I hear them, you know what I mean? It's a lot of fly guys. You got, you know, my man Fitty over there, you know what I'm saying, with Maria and them, you feel me? Like,
man,
my Fitty Mills, you hear me? Like, them type cats.
Y'all come Chicago, y'all here in Broadway. If you're not from here, like, yo, we go Chicago, show love, man. Like, we got history here too.
That city, see, people don't even know. I was there when drill started, man. Yeah. Like I'm in the city, all that when drill took over the world, I'm like, like Grav lived on 72nd and Princeton at the time, man. For real. So like when that shit being developed, I give you another story. You know what I mean? Manat called me to DJ for Louis when he first came out. He was like, yo, you want it? And I hadn't heard drill music in its totality yet, but when I heard one of the songs, I was like, this
What's
shit
this?
dangerous. I was like, it's dangerous. You know what I like about being on the road with R&B girls? It ain't no smoke. They ain't not about to be no brawls and all that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've been on the road with the Locks and all that, with Jim Jones and all. I know what that's like, you know what I mean? So I know the level at me being older. I kind of like being on the road with. We just out here. They getting manicures and all that. They get
very cutesy, very demure.
yeah. I could go do my thing. I could go get some breakfast. You feel me?
Right.
But at the time, man, I was there when drill music like really began and took off, and I watched these artists like really come out them streets, man, and really be seen in America, man. And they made them kids out them blocks made their presence known, man. They was like, look, this is what's happening where we live. This is what it sound like. This is what it feel like. And man, it was just a crazy wave because at the same time, Drake is like coming in there too.
Right.
So all of this greatness, music is just happening at like Chicago.
And now it's turning international.
So understand what the club is like in Chicago when Keith songs is going crazy. Like for real. Like they ringing. Dirk songs, these Smirk songs ringing. Local Mousy song ringing. You know what I'm saying? Anything that's on YouTube, download it, play it in the club. It's people that know all the local joints, and I'm telling you, that mood in Chicago right there, like it was a bounce. It was like, yeah, Chicago, we making our prep. Because Ye was already doing it, right?
Right.
The next generation was ushering themselves in. And the way they came in with their thing that they was doing with the Truies and that just, it was so natural. And Chicago was at like a real fashion pinnacle at that point. It was so many people making clothes and they were wearing them in the club. Like you see Zoe with some shit on, Ye with some shit on. And you see like Leaders calling them, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, it was something to see every time you was in the club, man. And the music mixed with the clothing. You understand what I'm saying?
Me back, dog.
Like the music mixed with the clothes and the fashion. If you cut that piece out of Chicago history, man, that thing got to go down like Motown we was in, man, because it was like several of us musicians playing music at the time, making and creating, and bars rang out and made money, and careers were created from those events, man. So shout out to all of those promoters, everybody that had like something to do with it, all the way down to the door girl, the bathroom guy. Like if you had something to do with those nights, man, you got something to do with our careers, man, because you gave people an experience to remember us as DJs, to even want to be seen again in them clubs. So a huge thank you to anybody that was rocking. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. So now we come at the time where I have a little game. You may have heard it, may have not. It's called This or That. And some of it is straight New York. And I don't want your people mad at you, but
they can't do that no more. I'm too old. They can't do that.
Okay, bet. All right. Well, I'm gonna go with this one. Rakim, KRS-One. Rakim. Yankees.
That's easy for me.
Why?
You don't even. And then Rakim. Why? Because Rakim way fresher.
Because I'm with you. I'm with Rakim.
Rakim way fresher than KR. And, when it comes to rappers with me, that Je ne sais quoi got to be there along with the bars. That just makes you the rapper that I can listen to.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yankees, Mets.
Come on, man. Yankees.
All right. Hey, I had to ask
27 of them.
Because you're an old school guy like me, Atari, Nintendo.
See,
hey,
I'm gonna have to give it. I asked this
because I was asked this, and I may give the same answer you gave. What you're about to give.
I want to give it to the Atari 2600 because of when it came out. It was more like we never saw something like that versus Nintendo was like, we know video games are out, but this is just a better one.
Right.
Atari was more of a hit when it came out because it's like, what is a video game kind of like with a joystick and a button? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I want to give it to Atari, although I love Nintendo to the end. To the end.
Okay. Atari. He-Man, Thundercats.
He-Man.
He-Man. Really? I like Thundercats. But all right, that's just me.
Yeah.
All right. All right, this one, this, I don't know if you may be conflicted with this one. DJing or fashion designing?
Damn.
I mean, if you don't want to pick both, that's cool. Because you love
Wow.
both.
Wow, man. Damn. Just like Tanisha be doing, man. She be like, man, putting me in these situations I gotta answer questions I ain't got the answer to. Shit. Man. Something about cutting clothes for me is at peace, man. Like real peace. I really like putting clothes on. I get dressed a lot in the house for no reason. Like she looks at me crazy. Many people look at me crazy for doing that. But I like clothes. And but DJing, I like damn. I don't know.
See,
I
because
don't know.
I
I don't
feel like
know.
because DJ has been a part of your life for so long, your mom, you, but you already said yourself, like you're trying to get ready for the next transition.
Sound like her.
I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because my mom was saying the same thing, man.
Yo, so it is fashion designing because, man, and what's interesting is I still love DJing, and that's how I was able to segue it into like, that's why I have the Art of the DJ Masterclass now that you need to sign up for. I have a code for it,
Gotcha.
which is 20. It's 20 off. That's the code too, and she'll put it in the comments so I make sure I'm 100% right. But the code is 20 off, and this masterclass you should join because tonight when I get off of this live, one of my students is at his graduation point, and his graduation point is DJing in a nightclub tonight. So he's actually DJing for a real crowd after signing up for my class and diligently coming every week and following every step I told him. He ended up booking himself in a club 6 classes after beginning with me. He took to a fish like water, and now he's going to be able to show everybody in the town that he lives in that he is a DJ, and he has been using my Art of the DJ Masterclass, which you can also sign up for by going to tourlords.com. I have a virtual class, which begins January 11th. So if you go right on there right now and click on the virtual class, it'll take you right to the card and all of the information and put you on right there. And I also have special coaching. You know, sometimes you're already been DJing and you need just special things to be worked on. So I have another drop down bar where you can go get special coaching, and we can set up a schedule where I come and just virtually coach you. And then I also have a sponsorship deck if people want to sponsor 10 DJs. You have a deck for that, and you also have a deck if you don't want to be a part of it at all, but you just want to support. There's also a donate button on there. So the website, tourlords.com, has everything. And DJing is going to be able to evolve with me through me teaching it. And so now that I'm able to teach, that's how I can still be in love with the craft of DJing, because I'm able to see my pupils actually use some of the things that I'm like, yo, use this. And I'm like, wow, oh, he's doing it.
That's
and
dope.
So it's also
that's just so dope, dog.
It's an experience for me too, man. So I'm smiling just as much, and it's an experience I didn't think that I would get to. So I'm here now. I'm teaching DJing, man.
That's what's up, man. Like,
yeah,
I'm gonna sign up. I got 2 more questions for you.
Hit me.
This one is, if you could bring back one fashion trend, what would it be and from what year?
The sun visors with the 9-volt battery in the side. A plastic joints.
Do I remember that? What year was that? Was that
86.
Was that a New York thing?
So New York thing? If you went to those festivals, they usually had those hats with the lights on the front. You put a 9-volt battery in the side, and that's what powered it. It was like sweatband material right here, but this was like plastic see-through. I would bring that back.
I probably seen them and just never paid no mind to them.
That's one of my favorite things from the 80s, fashion-wise. They were
it's the 80s, that's right. I was born in 81.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah. You might have missed
All
that
right.
one.
Gotcha. Okay. And what do you got cooked for 2025, brother?
Interesting you say that. We're gonna grow to our Lords, even to do consultation to the point where I'll be consulting artists. Like I said, budding new artists, you can come having an assimilation course where I'll be able to, if you were starting a record label, you can take my assimilation course on how your staff should work and operate.
Mm-hmm.
My girl has digital marketing she's going to be doing. She has an agency she's going to be building with that. And so, not to say that'll be hers will be under, but you'll be able to get that through tour lords and everything like that. So, guys, if you need websites built, my website, she built the entire thing. So, as glorious as it looks, she was the one to build it. She's right here. She'll be able to also build you a website. So, you'll be able to go to tour lords and get. It's going to be a one-stop shop if you want to continue in the progress of the involvement of technology and where you'll be able to make niche money in the new market and the new ways of making money. I'm learning myself. And so I'm actually using her steps and finding out, oh, these are the new stores. These are the new places you go. These are the new warehouses. This is the new place to shop. And so I really been in school in a lot of ways with real life, like that real Bill Cosby when he's sitting Theo down with the money and like, $10 gonna go to this, $5 gonna go to that. I really been monopolying it out like that, man. And it's like been an experience. I really been in school, man.
That's what's
and it's been A-okay, man. I'm at peace, man. I don't have to, run around crazy like I used to.
I forgot to ask you something at the beginning of the show. I was actually, how was your mental? How were you doing as a black man? Like, it's hard for us, you know what I'm saying? And dude, I'm proud of you. I'm happy for you. But yeah, how are you feeling? How's your mental? How are you doing? Obviously, you're blessed.
I am. Let me speak of the Lord in a great way. He was able to put me around some people that are very loving and caring, So I have to say my community around me makes my environment peaceful enough to be able to exist in. And they're very careful with a lot of things when it comes to me, especially my infrastructure with her family. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, I've been able to be the best Broadway you've been able to see lately, or I've been able to be a little more healthier than, I may have been before. And I can account those things to being here and being allowed a vision board to have a clear mind and say, hey, this is a space for you to create. This is a space where there's no judgment. This is a space where it's just about being and living. And when you get in those spaces, man, I'm like, damn, the Lord, I asked him, I wanted to live by the water. So it was between here and Long Beach, California. And I got here and I just really fell in love with the beach and the community. And I was able to just be on the beach the entire summer. Like every day I was able to put my feet in sand. And to be able to experience that at this age, I didn't take for granted the fact that, people aren't able to see this, man. So I took every moment, like every sunrise. Like we really used to take the car and like sit and watch the sun rise, or we'll sit and watch the sun set, and the food is just magnificent out here. They have a place called a Black Whale. It's amazing. Oh my God, she eats clams, oysters, and I have salmon crackers, and that's my thing, man.
You know what, brother? I forgot to ask you one this or that. Deep dish or New York style pizza?
That's difficult, man. That's difficult. That's difficult. That's difficult because there's no way you can carry a deep dish slice in New York. See, New York pizza is suitable for the living. New York pizza is for the on-the-go New Yorker. That means
you're able to fold it so quick.
You're able to fold it. You're able to discard it quickly. Chicago pizza is more like a pie. It's like, and I want to say, out of the two, it's always going to be Chicago pizza because of the fact that y'all able to put so much on a pizza. You can't put out all of that on a New York pizza and be like,
no, you can't. No.
There's no way. And I've seen so many people be creative with pizza in Chicago that it's like, y'all won. I've seen pizza with the pepperoni on the inside.
Yeah. Yes.
That's different for me. Yes. I have to learn that. I had to
They
learn
actually
that.
have one where it's like it's in a bowl and they flip it. It's crazy.
See, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I
I gotta
haven't
get
had
back.
it, but I will.
I gotta get
But
back.
Broadway brother, I appreciate you, man. I'm proud of you.
Always, man. Always, my brother. I'm honored to
And
be on your podcast, man.
I appreciate you, man. Hopefully this won't be the last time you're on the
Nah, y'all can
podcast.
talk to me anytime, man. I got a lot to say. I got a lot of stories. Tour Lord's got a lot more, man. Like, yeah, it's so much to tell, man. You got to think I've been in this industry almost 30 years, man. Like,
Jeez.
it doesn't begin with the biggest artists. You know, you got Jadakiss, you got
Yeah.
my own career. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I had a record deal. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
And you rap like
that.
hey,
That's the other thing. Yeah.
hey, on that mixtape that I hope he can get me from the Fly mixtape 1 and 2. He
Look,
raps on one of
I
them.
promise you, man. When I get everything established with Tour Lords, like I really want to get that nice and easy. But I could literally come to Chicago for a week, and me and Ty Hill could knock out a mixtape easily, man. He ready. He just be asking me when I'm ready, and I don't be ready. It'd be my fault.
I
So
mean,
like, I gotta
man.
come.
Hey, you're a busy man.
I gotta come there dead in the winter for a week. Tim's on and just stay in Planet Earth Studios. I don't record anywhere else. Like his studio is so mystique-ish. It's like it's like he's my favorite place to record at, man. Shout out to Ty Hill, man.
Shout out to
Crazy
Ty
ill
Hill,
producer.
man. That's what's up. But y'all, it's been a pleasure interviewing my brother, Broadway.
Honored, man. Tourlords.com, man. Please, I want to see you sign up. I gave you the code, and I want you to be my pupil.
Give it to him again. Give it to him again, brother.
It's Tourlords.com, and the code is 20 off. And you go on there right now, add it to the cart. You're going to go ahead and be signed up for the Art of the DJ Masterclass, and I'm going to get you nice. I'm still dead nice with it. I'm still dead nice with it. So I got you. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing.
You heard.
Go on,
it's nothing.
On there right now and sign up, man. I'm looking for you to be on there, man.
Holiday season, Christmas coming up.
Absolutely, man. I want to see you on there, man, because I can really get you nice in this DJ thing, man. I'm going to teach it to you real. You're going to love it. Love, man.
Brunch on Sundays. First episode in the books.
Legendary Broadway. Love, man. Have a great evening. Love and peace.
You too, man. Appreciate it.
Now.
Everybody have a good night, y'all. Peace.